Club members, welcome back to the Fletch cast. Like and subscribe, and turn on your notifications, because if you don't, you're going to miss future episodes from your favorite multicultural club member, who isn't afraid to talk about black women discriminating against, well, everybody. African American men who date Caucasians, Caucasian men who don't date African American women, Latinas who date black men, and multicultural relationships. Turns out, if we apply readily accepted definitions of blatant racial discrimination, certain black women discriminate more than any other group. That is correct. I said it. And before somebody starts screaming that Michael Fletcher is attacking black women, listen to the argument, because facts matter, and the truth matters. Let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles. I came across this story about a photograph of the wives and girlfriends of Philadelphia Eagles players. Apparently, there weren't enough black women in the picture for some people, and social media went crazy. Listen to some of these comments. Whitewashing out their blackness. The snow bunny epidemic is at an all-time high. What? But don't miss what is actually happening here. What did these Caucasian women in the picture do wrong? Were they accused of treating African Americans badly? Were they accused of hurting anybody? Their offense was they were Caucasian women in relationships with black men, which, obviously, means the white women and the black men involved in these multicultural relationships are misogynistic racists against black women. Give me a break. That is blatant racial discrimination, period. If the Ku Klux Klan announced tomorrow, white people should only date and marry white people, what would we call it? We would call it exactly what it is, blatant racial discrimination. So if black women say black men should only date and marry black women, if they condemn a black man because he married a white woman, if they attack that woman because she's white, I'm applying the exact same standard, blatant racial discrimination. Changing the race of the person doing the discriminating doesn't change the discrimination. Same rule. I'm multicultural. Millions of you are multicultural. Your children are multicultural. Your grandchildren are multicultural. Your family may be multicultural, which must mean that we cannot sit here while ignorant people, irrespective of their gender or ethnicity, attacks multicultural relationships based upon race. And now, here comes the hypocrisy. This is where our conversation about Stephen A. Smith becomes important. We just talked about a group of black journalists criticizing Stephen A. Smith because they believe he's been too critical of black women. And apparently, criticism of black women is increasingly treated as evidence of misogyny. Criticize something a black woman says, misogyny. Criticize something a black woman does, misogyny. Criticize her performance, misogyny. But attack another woman because she's white? Call her a snow bunny. Condemn the man who married her. Attack their multicultural relationship. And somehow we're supposed to understand that? I am going to pass on that premise. You cannot demand extraordinary sensitivity to racial discrimination against black women while engaging in racial discrimination against somebody else. You cannot tell America, stop judging me because I'm black, and then look at another man's wife and judge her because she's white. Hypocrisy. Black women are human beings. Human beings can be right. Human beings can be wrong. Black men can be wrong. Black women can be wrong. Michael Fletcher can be wrong. Everybody can be wrong. Simply identifying as a black woman does not make somebody infallible. And pretending otherwise doesn't empower black women. It does exactly the opposite. And club members, there's something else I want you to understand about this show. Here is how I approach my own life. When I encounter a problem, I genuinely hope that at least part of the cause of that problem is me. That is 100% true. I want the cause of that problem to have been Michael Fletcher, me. Because if I'm the problem, or even part of the problem, that's great news, because that means I can fix it. I don't have to beg somebody. I don't have to wait for somebody. I don't have to convince somebody else to change. I don't have to sit around hoping that somebody who doesn't give a shit about me suddenly starts giving a shit about me. I can change me. If my decisions helped create the problem, I can make different decisions. If my behavior isn't working, I can change my behavior. If my strategy failed, I can change my strategy. If I'm doing something stupid, I can stop doing stupid shit. That's power. Club members, responsibility is power. Responsibility is strength. Accountability gives you control over your future because it gives you something you can actually change. And this is where some African American women are doing African American women an enormous disservice. We've created this bizarre idea that empowering black women means telling black women, nothing is your fault. The problem is black men. The problem is white men. The problem is racism. The problem is sexism. The problem is America. The problem is society. The problem is everybody, except you. How is that empowering? Think about what you're saying. You're telling African American women that the solutions to the problems affecting their lives are controlled by everybody except African American women. That's not power. That's powerlessness. And club members, that applies to us too. I don't get to preach responsibility to African American women and then create some special exemption for the multicultural community. Same rule. If the multicultural community is doing poorly economically, that's our fault. If multicultural children aren't being supported emotionally, psychologically, and economically, that's our fault. If multicultural professional athletes aren't hiring multicultural agents, lawyers, and accountants, that's our fault. If multicultural businesses aren't getting multicultural dollars, that's our fault. Don't tell me who did it to us. Tell me what we're going to do about it. That's power. I'm Michael Fletcher. This is the Fletch Cast. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.